at this point, we know, according to Howard County officials, that one woman was killed in the floodwaters and 14 to 16 people are missing at this point. A lot of people are out now that it's daytime looking around. My friend Joyce Healy joins me now. She was out just checking out some of the things going on. So you said you were here last night when things really started to get bad. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we came by just about 10 minutes before it really started coming down the water. We were coming up Main Street to go home. We were coming from Baltimore City. We went up this way to the road up here, and we stopped because it was flooded. There was a Mercedes in front of us, and he tried to make it through, and he got stuck and started floating back down the road. We stayed there for like 2 minutes, and in the 2 minutes time, he started floating down the road. So we turned around and came back. We couldn't make it down here. It was flooded so bad, so we went up this way.
What was it like for you waking up and seeing the pictures and video of what happened?
Wow, it was pretty amazing. The devastation, I'm shocked. I've never seen anything like this ever. I mean, the roads, the devastation down here, I'm just really concerned about them being able to rebuild. Really,
and you said you live near this community, probably visit it often?
I'm here all the time, yes. Yeah, we're about 5 miles from here.
All right, well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it. Be safe.
You too.
Now, at this point, like I said, a lot of people are out and about, but they're being very cautious because it's still an active scene. I'm going to have you take a look just down the street from where we are. It's hard to see, but this is Main Street. This is where a lot of the action has happened. We do have video of Governor Larry Hogan, who is here. He came to tour just a little bit ago. He walked down the street and saw the debris, the busted and broken doors on businesses, the cars, just windows busted out, flipped over. He talked with residents about the damage. We were told dozens of cars were damaged or destroyed. More than a dozen businesses are now left. People are calling it a ghost town on Main Street. We also spoke to him about the situation.
It was shocking and devastating, but what was incredible, that was the bad side of it, seeing the terrible devastation. The good side was watching some really heroic rescues and seeing the first responders and just the neighbors that were helping each other out of the cars as they were floating by.
Now, just minutes ago, Larry Hogan, the Howard County executive, just moments ago tweeted that Larry Hogan, the governor, signed a state of emergency which sets it in motion for the area to get federal assistance. The governor also said earlier this is the worst devastation that he's experienced since he's been governor. He said the people are strong, they are resilient, they've been through tough times before. Congressman Elijah Cummings was also here along with Bob Flanagan with the House of Delegates District 9. Both of them were touring the area. We posted multiple videos and pictures on social media for you to check out on the WBAL Facebook and Twitter, also our WBAL mobile app. You can check out some more video. We walked up and down the street. It's hard to put it into words exactly what it looks like when you walk down there. A lot of people live down there, and also there were a lot of businesses, so they're urging people who need help. You can call the non-emergency line 410-313-2200, or in case you do have an emergency situation, of course you want to call 911. People are being told to go to the Roger Carter Center that's open indefinitely to help those who have been displaced from the floodwaters. I've been told it's going to take quite some time to rebuild here in Ellicott City, so people are told to be patient. Crews are still here on scene. Many fire police, many of them have not slept at all throughout the night because they continue to be here to work hard to control this and take care of it. So a lot still to go. It's going to be a work in progress for quite some time here in Ellicott City. Reporting live on Main Street, Lacey Griffith, WBAL TV 11 News.
Yeah, Lacey, we're not going to let you go that fast. We have to ask you a few more questions. Just looking at that video, to say mind-blowing doesn't even really cover what the devastation is there in Main Street. It literally looks like caves underneath some of these buildings as that concrete has just been ripped away. Are people just staring in awe of what has been lost there? I know that they're trying to keep that area safe for a lot of people, but the pictures and the video that's coming in, it's incredible.
Jen, it is so dangerous at this point with power lines down. There was a gas leak earlier, and the structural concern for these buildings that they're not letting anybody even remotely close. We have a police officer who has been right near us all morning long telling the public you cannot cross this area. It is just far too dangerous down there. We as the media did get to go down with Governor Larry Hogan to tour the area, but to be honest, it was terrifying. You could walk into a building, look to either side, and see entire holes ripped out of the side of the structure. And like I said, most people were calling it a ghost town, just piles of mud everywhere.
Not a person here hasn't been down that main street and doesn't know right now what exactly has been lost. And I think the impact of this will be felt by people more and more as the images continue to come through. Earlier this morning, you talked with County Executive Alan Killerman, and he was telling you about a human chain that had been formed to try to rescue someone. And we now actually have video, it may be of that very same situation, of people who had locked hands trying to help people out of the rushing floodwaters. What more have you heard from that? We're seeing that video right now in the air, and when you see it, you're going to be amazed.
Jen, every person we've talked to today, especially the congressman, the governor, the county executive, they have all said that this community is resilient. They keep saying how much they're working together. We've seen people come out with bottles of water, continually to say on social media, how can we help? It's one of those things that, you know, it's a terrible time, but people are coming together. Congressman Elijah Cummings said, people are going to have to be patient, but we will not be patient going after the resources that are necessary. And as I had mentioned, you know, the governor was already signing that state of emergency to get that federal assistance up and going. Bob Flanagan, we spoke with him, House of Delegates District 9. He said people have stayed up all night figuring out what are the first stages in what is essentially looks like a war zone. So people have put many terms on it. It is not something that is easy to describe or walk through, but it is going to take some time. I talked with a woman earlier who deals with the partnership around this area, and she said these business owners, of course, they're eager to get in to see what's going on, but right now it's just not safe. So everyone is urged to just let police, fire, and the other crews do their work to make sure it's safe for everybody.